Hey Pottery peeps! So today I am making the Beetlejuice inspired mugs. A lot of you have been asking for those, and I'm going to be good and show you how I glaze them. So in order to keep the video from getting too long, as I tend to be long-winded, I'm not going to show you how I put the mug together because I've actually shown that on, I'll link them in the descriptions on the ghost mugs. This is actually following the ghost mugs tutorial. I did do something a little bit different. So I've actually got this mug to the point where we got the foot on it. I've made the little ghostly so it looks like it's floating. And then I'm going to take you from here on how I make the Beetlejuice mugs, okay? All right, so what I do at this point is I want to fatten it out. Not a lot, just, if you'll notice the difference between these two, it's just got a little bit of a curve. And so I'm gonna add some volume to it. And I just got my hands wet, and you can support it on the outside and push from the inside. But I kind of want to watch my fingers. I am using B-Mix with Speckle. If you'll notice, I'm kind of stopping right here. I don't know if I can show you inside the mug. Probably not. So I'm just, let's see, maybe I can do it left-handed? Probably not. I don't have enough strength yet in this arm to do that. All right. Nope. So you can see my finger kind of push that out. So I'm just going to do that all the way around. And yeah, some things are just, I don't have the equipment to like get a camera above me and do this. So, but I'm just lightly going around and pushing that out a little bit. Kind of coming down at the bottom on the triangle feet and pushing it out. And hopefully you can see where I'm adding volume to this. And you can probably see the ridges of my finger because I'm just using my fingers like this. Your fingers are your best tools. And I could use a sponge, and I will clean up with a rib, but I want to make sure I'm not getting too thin. These were rolled out about just a tick above 1/4 inch. So they're not too thick. If I wanted to really belly this out, I would roll out my clay thicker. Always be careful around your seam. Okay, so I'm just gonna look. Like I said, I don't want it too bellied out. And then I'm just going to grab my small red rib. And this time I'm going to put my hand there. And I'm going to just swoop it sideways. I want to get rid of any finger marks I might have left on the inside. And this will help push it out just a little bit more. But I want my mug to be smooth on the inside. And then, because I did that, I will go and address that seam. Plus, I always seem to nail the bottom of the mug with my fingernails, even though I cut them really short. I'm going to start throwing this week, you guys. I'm kind of scared. I'm worried that I'm not going to have the strength, and so it's got me anxious. So even though I've been given the green light to throw, that was actually over a week ago, but with the show we recently had and some other things going on, I haven't been able to sit down and give it a try, mainly because I want time to give it a try. All right, so that's what my inside looks like. So now I'm going to address the rim, and I routinely just keep putting in my rounder. And then with the rim, I have my hand right here, and I'm gonna just push it out against my finger just to give it a little bit of a swoop. It makes it so much more comfortable to drink out of. Just gives the liquid in here direction, and you need to really make sure that you are giving attention to that rim, because remember, nothing will touch your mouth, your lips, more often than the rim of a cup. You want that to be a pleasurable sensation. Okay, so we've got this ready to go. I'm going to get some clay, and we're going to get this going. I'm not even going to show you how I do the handle. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see, because I know that the glazing is going to take more time than I'd like, because glazing always does, which is one of the reasons why I don't like showing glazing videos, because, you know, they're boring. Well, they're boring to me. Okay, so hold on a second, and I'll be back in a sec. I have a thin piece of clay here that I'm going to use for the medallion that's going to go on the mug, and it's less than 1/4 of an inch, probably 1/8 of an inch. This is my frame, and I got this at Michael's probably 7 or 8 years ago. So I don't know, of course, if they would still have it, but you could do any decorative frame or make your own with stamps. And I'm just going to put it in the clay and then just roll it in. You got to be careful if you've got these wooden laser things, because you can, I've broken quite a few, whoops. I'm just going to do the frame, lift it up. I need to go deeper, and I can easily just put it back. Yeah, probably just cracked it right there. I bought a package. These were in a package. I bought a package. And anyway, I use them quite a bit. I mean, this is not Halloweenish, but it kind of fits the mood of the Beetlejuice mug that I'm doing. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to lift it up carefully. Actually, let me show it to you. And then, actually, just saw someplace. I want to get the inside frame a little bit more for my words. And for the stamp, it says never trust the living. I had my husband do this, because the first time I did this, I did it with the alphabet stamps, which was fine, and it looked fine. Turned out great, but time-wise, this is much faster. So if you have access and can make your own stamp, I recommend it. I've had people ask me if I'm going to sell them, and that is a no. I don't want to get into manufacturing, and I want to make pots. So I'll let the ones that have the passion for making things do that. And then I'm just going to rock it. I probably should put it in cornstarch. Oops. Oh well, we'll see how well I do. And I just kind of rock it back and forth. Make sure I get a good impression. That looks good. And then I am just going to freehand cutting around this, because I'm not going to get into all those little swirly gigs. That's too much work. So if you're a potter, you sell your pottery, you're constantly thinking, okay, how do I make this faster? Because time is money. How do I make this easier to do? Those kind of things. So just freehanding that rather than going around and cutting it that way is definitely saving time and money. And I actually, nice thing about these, well, I've already stretched it, so I guess I can't do that. I was going to press it in more on that edge, but well, maybe I still can. But since I've lifted it, it's now been stretched. But I wonder, maybe I can just do it with my fingers right there. Yeah, that works. All right. Let's bring our mug over here. So I'm going to score the back of this. You probably can't see me do it. But basically, you know, I'm just getting it wet and just scoring the crap out of it. Let me just do that real fast. And then I put it on my mug. And I've been putting it on one of the feet. So, because it's actually bigger than my mug, or a little bit bigger. So I'm basically just pressing it here so I can get an idea of where it's going to go. And then I'm going to score the mug. Make sure I get a good connection. Also, make sure, I've done this before, make sure it's going right side up, especially with lettering or an image. I'm going to bring my toothbrush in here and create some slip on the back of this. So I just created a bunch of slip. And then I want to make sure it's upright. Don't want that going up over my lip, because that'll make it, I gotta look at it. Make sure it's straight. Have my hand on the inside. I'm going to press and roll my finger up the middle and then to the side, to the other side, and then diagonally until I get that goopy slip coming out. Because these have popped off on me before, not this, but a medallion has popped off on me before. So I will spend some time and make sure I have a good connection. And then I will kind of roll my finger over the edge. I'm going to bring my sponge in here, kind of sop up some of that stuff. I'm going to fix the top here in a second. So, it's one of my favorite tools. And I will go around and press that seam into the mug all the way around. Make sure I gotta get my glasses on. My goodness. So, get the extra slip off. And make sure I've got a good joint so it doesn't crack off. I will put these under plastic for a day or two. And let them, the moisture content equalize. Okay, now after I've done that, I am going to come in here and soften that cut edge that I did, the outside edge. You could actually soften that before you put it on, but you do so much cleanup already. And then I come in with my brush. So that's kind of like my final cleanup, is I'm going to come in with the brush, make sure I get all that extra slip, make sure everything's smooth, everything's connected. Some of them I don't have to really worry about. The sponge got it, which is kind of nice. But down there I need to clean up a bit. Okay, so I'm not going to show you doing the handle or anything. What I'll do is I'll pick you up probably in, well, when these have been bisfired, I will pick you up and I will show you how I glaze them. I do have some tricks. But if you want to see how the mug is actually made and put together, go watch the ghost video that is linked below. But we'll go ahead and put the handle, and I will put the handle. If you'll notice, this is on that 1 foot. This is, it's got a tripod foot. My hair is just a mess, sorry about that. Which is a really stable foot, physics again. And so the handle I will put here, because I like the handle. I don't want the weight of a handle where I don't actually have a foot stability foundation. So I will put the handle here, which makes it really nice. So when you drink it, and if you were going to do a left hand, that other triangle is right there. So it works both ways for left-handed, right-handed, however you want to put your handle on. So I will do that off camera, but you can see how that's done, how this whole mug was made from start to finish if you want to, with the actual ghost mug, because it's the same mug. I have just elevated it in a sense, or I just made another mug out of the same shape, but they look completely different. I mean, potters can probably say, oh, hey, that's the same mug. But your customer probably doesn't know that's the same mug. But it's just another way of using this great template that, oh God, I'll put her name in, and I'll also link, she saw me struggling to cut, because in the ghost one, or the mushroom mug, I have a foam template that has all the measurements on it. I'll link that too. I have been able to make so many mugs with this template from my foam one, and then, I'm so sorry. I am so bad with names. So bad with names. But I'll put her name in here, and she saw me struggling because of my arm to cut that out, so she made me this. And she does sell them on Etsy, so I will link where you can get this if you want. That's another time saver. Those of us who are trying to save time so we can make, profitability, you spend less time, you make more money, right? Anyway, so I'll pick you up when they are ready to glaze. The first thing I do on these mugs is tape them off. I am a big fan of using tape as an effect. This is a 1/2 inch painter's tape, and I'll have the link in the description of where I get it. I actually have tape in a lot of different sizes, just so that I can, if I want to do plaid, or not plaids, but squares, or I actually tape off a lot of stuff because I'm a messy glazer. I'm much more a fan of runny glazes, dipping glazes, and so forth. So I'm just dividing up the mug. I started with the handle because I like the handle black. And then I am just going around and taping them off and just eyeballing it. You could measure it out if you wanted to, but I just eyeball it. I don't think you really notice if one is a little wider than the other. And then I also tape off the inside of the mug so I know where I want my black stripes to stop. Like I said, I'm messy. I'm messy when I'm painting anything or glazing. So I even taped off the bottom. The black underglaze that I use, the velvet black with Amico, is so highly pigmented that on the B mix, it does leave a residue. I can't seem to get it off. And so I do tape it off. This is where I have watered down underglaze in a little squeeze bottle, and I just, put it inside the writing. And now I am painting all those lines. So this, you could do a bigger brush, but that just gets me into trouble. So I'm using a sumi brush, a small sumi brush, and I tend to have better control with them than I do like a bigger fan brush or any other type of brush. I can get into little places and minimize my mess because I am messy. Now I will warn you, I did tape or film taking the tape off, which is really the reward, but all the footage got lost. So after this, I take wasabi, Amico's wasabi, and I do 2 coats on the inside after I've taken the tape off. And then I will do the mulberry on the frame, and then I wax that off, and I'll show that here in a minute. And then when it's all done, I just give it a dip in my studio clear, and that's it. And I let it dry. I could see a lot of fun uses for this with Christmas. I want to do... Okay, I'm still learning on the tech side of this, so I'm sorry for cutting myself off on the voiceover. What I meant to say is I could see some really fun applications with mugs, taping them off, making them red and white, like a candy cane, or blue and white, green and white. You know, it could be really, really fun. And then do a different medallion that goes with the holiday. Can't you just see a ho, ho, ho kind of thing, you know, or believe with a red and white stripe? I think that would be super cool. Anyway, what I didn't show on the glazing is just 2 coats of the wasabi inside. I rarely do 3 coats of anything because I'm a heavy glazer. So I've learned over the years 2 coats is good enough for me. And it saves, well, I don't know if it saves on glaze because I'm a heavy glazer. But this is the wasabi, Amaco's wasabi, that I did on the inside. And then on the frame, I did 2 coats of the mulberry. And I have noticed, I waxed this off before I dip it in clear because my clear tends to bleach out the mulberry. And I didn't get all the clear off the wax. I thought I did, but it was late, you know, and it's hard to see clear sometimes. It's not clear or it's too clear, you know, so you don't know if you're getting it all. But I think it works for this mug. You know, it's a Halloween mug and it's Beetlejuice inspired, and he's kind of all over the place and splotchy and so forth. So I think it really works. And I'm super, super happy. I think these were super fun. But anyway, I can see a lot of different applications for this type of mug going forward. I think actually even just a Halloween mug with the orange and white stripes would be super fun. Also, one thing I did not mention, I only do 1 coat of the black. The Amaco black is just a great black. It's a lot more expensive than the Speedball and some of the fundamentals and some of the other underglazes out there. But I can get by with 1 coat, and that's time saver. And as we've been talking about lately, time is money. And so yeah, I will spend the bucks for the Amaco black velvet because I only did 1 coat of black on this, and it's a beautiful, beautiful black. I will have all the links in the description. I hope you found some value out of this, and it helps you, inspires you to make your own mug, either whether it's Beetlejuice or even I think just classic black and white mug would be super, super cool. Very French, don't you think? If you did pink on the inside. Wouldn't that be fun for spring? Okay, I'm going to have to write myself a note. All right, that's going to be it for me today. I have no idea what I'm doing next week. I guess we'll both find out when I get there. All right, go get muddy. And I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And we'll catch you in the next one.